Welcome to the 7th episode of World Mediation Deacons. This is DK. I'm extremely excited to have my guest today. His name is Harbans Singh. Malaysia is the most globalized Islamic country, Wall Street of Islamic finance, Mecca of halal industry, the only Asian country which overcame Asian financial crisis without IMF's support. Harbans is one of the most experienced mediator, arbitrator, adjudicator in Malaysia and in AIAC. AIAC is the Asian International Arbitration Center, independent, non-profit, non-governmental international area provider. They built resolution service from arbitration, mediation, and adjudication. Sat Sri Akal.
Thank you. Sat Sri Akal to you also. Yeah. So I'm honored to be invited, although I don't recognize myself as a deacon, but I've been involved in this dispute resolution for 30 years or so.
Can you tell us one of your best mediation memory?
There are a couple. Like normally mediations, we say you try to solve it as soon as possible, this, that, and all that. But one of the mediations which I took about almost 2 years to complete, not every day, off and on, was a very interesting case. Because what happened, a lot of the Sikhs who came from Punjab to Malaysia were normally with the army. So when the British left, most of them couldn't get a job, so they became like watchmen, like my father. Keep cows and all that, became farmers and all that. So there was this case. Two guys, they were together, and then they bought a piece of land and they kept cows and they prospered very well. And they also bought some land back in India. And then they passed away. And they had no proper wills. And then the children were involved in this legal battle. Bought a land here and a land in India. So this was, and the case had been going on for a couple of years in the courts, No, it was a stalemate. So somebody suggested to me, why don't you help them to resolve mediation? Of course, when I started, very difficult. It took me almost about half a year to convince them to start listening and talking. So I did that. And then part of the process, I do go back to India once in a while. So every time when I was in India, I went and saw their relatives there, talked to them. And when I was here, so what happened is after 2 years, we came to a very good settlement. So one of the parties was given the land in Malaysia. The other party was given in India. And they honored, both sides honored. And Malaysian courts couldn't do that because Malaysian courts had only jurisdiction on the Malaysian land, didn't have on the land. And they had become arch enemies, not or even on talking terms and all that. So when the settlement came, they are now friends and they are working together. And that was one of the most satisfying ones because it was my community. And in my community, most of the issues they have is on these issues, land matters. And this was one of the, although it took me 2 years off and on, but I kept going on. I never gave up, kept on going. Of course, the other one, very interesting one, maybe you don't have in Korea, you have or not have. Because in Malaysia, a lot of people still believe in black magic. So there was this lady,